experts say the fish resources must be managed competently. So far, this is not happening. Unfortunately, fossil fuel extraction is making matters worse.
Oil spill, I must say that in the the production of oil and transportation of oil, you cannot separate oils from the marine, because most of the platforms, the operational areas, the wells are located offshore. And then after production, transportation also is done through piping, is done through tankers, and in event of accident, some pipes are blown off, the wellheads are blown off, the tankers can have accident, collision, and when that happens, they are released into the marine environment. And once they are released into the marine environment, the consequences, the environmental negative consequences must be felt in the ecosystem.
Oil spills have a devastating impact on fisheries, not only along the shore, but in estuaries and further upstream as well.
Preserving the environment is good business. But then you have to have a long-term economic perspective on things. I mean, you could make quick profits and you can run away. I think it's extremely important, like we have done in the agreements and contracts with oil companies. They have a huge responsibility to act environmentally. You have the same in Nigeria, but you have to ensure also a continuous follow-up of contractual agreements and so on. And you have to make sure that the companies which are making huge profits from the oil sector keep their responsibility, and that the government organs, whether it's been NIMASA, Nostra, or Ministry of Environment, that they are continuously following developments. Because it could have been, what you see in the delta could have been prevented.
Environmental destruction affects mangrove forests and coral reefs, which both are important spawning grounds and habitats of marine life. Increased fish traffic means more pollution, and ever more vessels are going up the rivers. The Convention for Cooperation in the Protection, Management and Development of the Marine and Coastal Environment of the Atlantic Coast of the West, Central and Southern African region, otherwise known as the Abidjan Convention, provides an overarching legal framework for all marine-related programs in West, Central and Southern Africa. Ratified in 1984, the Abidjan Convention covers a geographic area comprises of 22 countries, 19 of which have already ratified it. It constitutes a unique institutional referential framework for all initiatives linked to the protection and conservation of the marine and coastal environment along Africa's Atlantic seaboard, and to the sustainable development of the area's resources. Despite this, destruction of the ecosystems within the region persists.
I think with the Abidjan Convention and Secretariat, and of course actually working on maritime management and development, and then I believe that awareness and consciousness is there, and what we need is just to take that a step further to make sure that the various stakeholders, industry, corporation, and government, work together again to get out the information on what everybody is doing, so we know what people are doing right and what people are doing, not right. That we can all share experience, to make sure that the environment, especially the biodiversity, is not impacted.
The negative impact of human activities on the marine ecosystems is the focus of a conference organized by the United Nations Institute for Training and Research in partnership with the Embassy of Norway in Nigeria. The conference provided the opportunity to deliberate on how to strengthen regional cooperation when huge accidents occur.
Everyone knows about the delta and the terrible oil spills in the Niger Delta. We also know about huge oil production offshore, which where there hasn't been any serious. There has been some, but there hasn't been the same kind of pollution as onshore. And as a country which is also exploring oil offshore, we have a common agenda and a common interest of safeguarding the marine environment of Nigeria. And we believe it's extremely important because the resources at sea can help feed the population. Because it could have been, what you see in the delta could have been prevented. It should never have happened. There are some elements or some things which are not, which is not related to either company or government. There have been, as you know, activities of stealing oil, destroying oil pipelines and so on. But much of it could have been prevented. And we saw numbers here of oil spills of 6,000, 9,000 examples. Most of those could have been prevented. Most of those are not terrorism, or it's prevention if you had a good policy. So it's absolutely possible, and it will benefit the government and the people of Nigeria in the long run if it's done properly.
The conference is born out of the need to protect mechanical response to oil spill and protect fisheries and other aquatic species and the marine environment for the benefit of the West and Central African sub-region.
We'll set up a team that will do follow-up on resolutions reached at this conference. So it won't just end up being another talk shop. We're focused on doing things that will have impact on sustainability of management of our ecosystem or our marine environment. We understand the importance of the environment. We understand that oil exploration activities have negative impact on the environment, and that shipping activity, if it is also not managed, will have the same impact on the environment. And like I said earlier, all economic activities have impact on the environment, and so it must not only be regulated, we must work with all the stakeholders to ensure that they understand the importance of preserving the environment, not just for today, but also for the future. So there will be a number of follow-up activities going forward.
Experts warn that an oil spill accident outside southern or western Africa will be catastrophic for the coastal environment and for the whole of West Africa because of the movement of the water's current northwards along the coast.